Hi everyone, welcome to Bella TV. Jennifer here, and I am sitting with Stacy of Boy Meets Girl.
Hi.
Stacy, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, so I'm going to start by introducing you by telling everyone to look at these gorgeous pillows
Should I be
on the couch. We've outfitted the studio with the beautiful Boy Meets Girl pillows.
Our new home collection.
We love them.
That just launched in Bed Bath & Beyond and Target.
I love them.
We're in Target in 140 stores nationwide.
That's amazing.
Right? Is that nationwide? And online, and then Bed Bath & Beyond online. And a portion of the proceeds in both stores are donated back through Boy Meets Girl to the National School Climate Center's Bully Bust organization that combats bullying in schools nationwide.
That's fantastic.
So we're all about no hate and spreading the message of love. And with the launch of this, we had a campaign that we continued that we started a few years ago called BMG Live Out Loud, where people on social share their live out loud moments, and that can come from any variation from coming out, being gay, to have been bullied in school, to talking about suicide. I mean, it's like the gamut, and it's truly amazing to see people's stories and share that, and particularly like through clothing and products like this to hear that message. And so that's what we say is confidence and courage never go out of style, that you are limitless. We have other messaging on Never Look Back and different things that are on Live to Inspire. So this is for me in my career to launch in these like big brick and mortar stores, or is that what they're called? Big mass retailers. Is a really big deal, but also putting the message of the brand and what we do and get back into these consumers' hands. So it's really been an amazing journey this past few months.
I'm sure. So let's start at the beginning. So it's not just beautiful pillows to accessorize the studio with or your home. Tell us about all of the products that you offer.
Okay, so we are a unisex lifestyle brand. We do athleisure, we do hoodies and sweatpants and tees and sweaters and dresses and all in that vein. And then we have multiple categories from jewelry, licensing out categories. So home, we are launching a kids line with a major American retailer soon. And oh my goodness, I'm missing all my different categories, but we have stationery, we have notebooks, and we are expanding into multiple categories. But the foundation of the brand started as this unisex line that was a give back brand, or is a give back brand since inception. So my first retailer when I started, so I'm going to update myself, is I had my first trade show in 2001, right after 9/11, so it was supposed to happen that week. It happened, and I had it in October. I really didn't want to be in fashion after 9/11, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I had left my big job at Izod to start my own line. And so what I realized is that if I were going to be in fashion at that time, that I would have to be impacted, a brand that gives back and it impacts you. And that was always something that I wanted to do since inception. I just didn't know I was going to do it right out of the box. And so that collection that I first showed in October at the Chelsea Market with other amazing designers, there were 60 of us, Rebecca Minkoff, Peter Song, Gary Graham, that collection was donated back to the American Red Cross from victims of 9/11, and my first buyer was Bergdorf Goodman.
Wow.
So then I was put on the map.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And Tracy Margulis, who was my first buyer, is now the SVP of Saks, and she's, she put me on the map, and all eyes were on you. And I don't know if you've seen the movie Scatter My Ashes, but it's a whole documentary on Bergdorf Goodman and what it does for a designer today, or did for a designer. And so, then all eyes are on you. And so for me, that was my first foray into this big retailer, and also giving back through the brand. And then it put me on the map as a brand that was giving back. And so that's always what I've done. 18 years later, launching in Target and Bed Bath, giving back through the brand. And so our messaging has always been there. It's authentic. It's not, a give back brand that starts today, which is not bad. I think it's amazing if any brand starting today to give back, but it's something that we've been doing, and it varies from breast cancer awareness to human rights with we did an Immigrants for Us campaign with the Human Rights Watch charity. We work with the Young Scholar Coalition for Breast Cancer, the National School Climate Center for Anti-Bullying, Planned Parenthood. So we work with Cool Effects, all different organizations to speak back to the youth and what's going around in our environment, from sustainability to bullying to breast cancer awareness.
It's amazing, and you can see that obviously in the styles as well. Very uplifting, positive messages. How do you come up with all of that and your team? And it's so creative and adorable, and it is very inspiring and uplifting.
The hustle. It's all real. I think that I came up with the Boy Meets Girl logo, which is the boy and girl here. That was, the story behind that was, I was wanting to design something that had meaning, that had a touch point to someone and could share someone's story. And I happened to be going to my husband, he was my boyfriend at the time's house, and on his wall he had all these silhouettes. It was my first time to go meet his parents at his house for a dinner. So I'd been to his house, but I noticed these silhouettes, and I'm like, oh, I have one from when I was younger. I'm going to merge our silhouettes together. And after I met his parents, that night, I was like, I think I have my silhouettes I'm from Chicago. From growing up, I'm going to get that. And he was a graphic designer at the time. He's now an IP lawyer. We'll get to that later. And we took the silhouettes and we merged them, and we added a ponytail, and we puffed up his hair, and Boy Meets Girl was born. And that is the name of the company, that's the logo. And the idea was that we would share everyone's stories, that it would be not a reflection. It wasn't us necessarily, it was, when you look at it, you remember this time, you remember the time you first dated someone, your first concert, your first best friend. And so I ended up trademarking Boy Meets Girl and Boy Meets Boy and Girl Meets Girl. And so then that was sort of endless of all these different variations you can do. And so the messaging of the brand and all these sayings that we do and trademark and copyright, and thus he's an IP lawyer, really come from the spirit of inspiration of the stories that we're sharing. And so, if we're working with someone and sharing their story, and they're all about empowerment, and they've tried all these different things, and they're an actor and a dancer and a this, and it's just different words come to mind and designs come from there. So that's sort of the nature of who we are. And then in collaborations, this is my collaboration with the Chicago Bulls.
I love this.
It just launched this week.
That's great.
So this is very exciting for me, being a 90s girl, going to see Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen play, winning 6 big games, the main games. So this is really, I launched a collaboration with Atlanta Hawks with the NBA last year for holiday gifting and for pride and for, again, non-hate and anti-bullying. And so that had the rainbow inside our logo, and it had the Atlanta Hawks Boy Meets Girl collaboration, and we still partner with them. And then in a Women's Wear Daily article, I said I would love to partner with my hometown team, 6-time championship team, and came true a year later. And this is really exciting. So this is all the product, when I partner with these teams, are sold in their stores only. I don't have the rights to sell it anywhere else. So this is sold in the United Center's store. We launched some tees and hoodies, and it's all within the Inspire With Us campaign that's rolling out into January with the Chicago Bulls and Pride initiatives. And donation from this shirt is donated back to Center on Halstead, because they chose the charity. Usually it's like charities I've been working with, but we chose a local charity because they're in Chicago, and that is an organization that helps the LGBTQ, is it IA now? I think IA community, because there's all these new letters added, which is great. Community to come there and really just get help on what's happening and advice and be a community together. And so it's really exciting. It's my hometown, and I'm like just beaming off the walls that like I'm
That's
partnering with the
fantastic.
Chicago Bulls. So,
Yeah.
so different partnerships come to me now through the history of building the brand, and it's a really exciting time to be doing it, even in a time when Barney's is closing.
Yes.
Like, I always find myself like, I'm just gonna keep moving,
Yes.
keep going. So that's
Well, you're
what's
blowing
happening.
up.
I'm blowing up.
Yes.
It's like a full circle moment.
And a beautiful message,
Thank you.
and the work that you're doing and giving back, that's so fantastic. So let everyone know where they can go and purchase the products, follow along on social, where they can find you.
So you can follow us on Instagram at Boy Meets Girl USA. Our website is boymeetsgirlusa.com. We're on Twitter and also Facebook. I'm Stacy Igel, Stacyigel on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And also I have a podcast.
Very exciting.
And to buy the pillows and the whole home collection is Target and Bed Bath & Beyond.
Okay.
So you can go to our website to find all the stores. And so I have a podcast. We're on season 2. We just launched this week with Emily Tish Sussman, who has she has a podcast called Your Primary Playlist. And we have season 1 interviewed 58 moms and dads. And
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for beautifying our studio.
I'm so excited.
We absolutely love it.
This is so exciting.
It's a little studio upgrade.
It's
so soft.
yummy and soft. Yeah, so
Well, they're adorable.
Thank you.
We love them. Thank you for being here. Of course.
yay!